YouTube? It's Nessa from Nessa Aesthetics, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it is your first time. Today I have a couple of brushes that I was sent by Slaybella brand, and I'm going to try them out for you to see if they are any good. And I'm very excited because they're very pretty. So, quick disclaimer, if I don't seem 100% upbeat in this video, it is because I felt like crap all day, got a little bit of a head cold. Also, the lipstick I'm wearing is, it's Glace by Bite Beauty. It's one of the little things, and I smudged it out. I'll have that in the description, and I'm gonna stop rambling, and we're gonna get right into it. I got an email the other day by a brand called Slaybella. They messaged me and they're like, hey, we want to send you a free product, and all you have to do is follow us on Instagram and shout out our page on your page, and we'll give you a little shout out on our story too. I'm like, they sent me a link where I could pick one of the free products, and they had like a couple different brush sets, some beauty blenders, I think they had some lashes, and maybe a palette. I'm not sure, but they had several different options, and I picked the mermaid brushes, and they looked really pretty online, and I was really hopeful, but I didn't get my hopes up because I've gotten reached out to by a couple of brands before, one of which told me everything was free, and then once I clicked on their link and tried to get it, tried to send me something and tried to get me to pay full price and shipping after telling me specifically in the email that it was free. And then another time I got to the checkout, and I think it was completely free, ordered it, never came. Like half a year later, it still never came. So I don't know what happened with that, but this one seemed legit. I was excited. So I ordered it on November 3rd, and it said it was coming from China. So I was like, might be a while. And 2 weeks later, I ordered it November 3rd, as I said, and it came on November 19th. I wrote it down the day it came so that I would remember that exact day. So 16 days, so about 2 weeks, coming from China. It could have been longer, it could be shorter for some people. You can't really be 100% sure with stuff like this, but mine came pretty fast. It came in this guy right here, just your average little package dude, and I open it up, and the brushes are in this. I haven't opened these. I opened the thing to see what it was, to see if it was even the brushes, but I didn't open this package, and this is what they came in. It just has like their order number on it and stuff. So I'm going to open these up now. They look exactly like they did on the website, which makes me hopeful because they look really pretty. So I'm going to open it up, and it is 4 brushes, just like they said on the website. All 4 brushes came. They look exactly like they did online. I'm going to start by opening the fan brush. The only thing so far is, I don't know if you can tell, but some of the hairs on the brush seem to have gotten smushed in the packaging. I'm sure you can tell now. Some of the bristles got kind of smushed in the packaging, but I mean, you can't really do much about that. Alright, so this is metal, and this is plastic, and the hair is very soft. It is most definitely synthetic, which is good. I don't want to use real hair brushes. And they're very soft. So I'm going to open up the others, and they just come in these little slip dudes. Yeah, very soft. Very pretty. I love how these look. They're not quite my aesthetic, but I don't quite care because they're pretty. And then we have this. So we have the fan brush. We have this, which is more of a tapered, fluffy brush. This one looks like I could use it for detailed contour, nose contour maybe, or for eyeshadow looks, so that's pretty cool. This one is more of your average giant fluffy brush, again big enough to use on the face and on the eyes. And then the last one is more of a rounded, a bit smaller of a fluffy brush. This one reminds me a lot of, where is that at? Oops. Of my favorite Morphe blending brush. So if you're on my channel a lot, you've seen this brush. It's one of my gunmetal ones. They're about the same size, if you wanted to use that as a reference to see how big they were. So yeah, they look promising. They feel soft. They're very pretty. The only thing so far is this one these bristles are kind of jacked up over here. I guess that's just how they were shipped, but the other ones seem totally fine. So I'm going to start with highlight because I want to use this fan brush because I actually do not own a fan brush. And I have only used it, one of my palettes broke again, that's lovely. I've only used fan brushes once or twice, so I'm not a humongous, oh wow, English is difficult today. I'm not a huge fan of fan brushes, just a personal preference. I don't find them very useful, but this would definitely be useful for picking up fallout underneath your eyes, or maybe for highlight. So I have my Alchemist palette right here. I'm not playing any tricks or anything. I'm going to be as 100% honest with this as possible. This is not sponsored. They sent me these for free. They told me to shout them out on my Instagram. They said absolutely nothing about telling you guys the quality, and they told me absolutely nothing about doing a review on YouTube. So this is all my personal opinion, and I will be as honest as I possibly can. I know for a fact the pink opal shows up really well on my skin tone, so I'm going to take the brush and I'm just going to kind of dust it. Lots of fallout. Okay. I'm not going to tap off any excess. A lot of fallout with this brush. I don't usually get that when I use my finger. And then I'm going to dust it on my cheekbone. Alright, I'm going back in with the brush to the same shade, that pink opal. Okay, I don't know if you can tell. I'm going to do the other side, same thing, same shade. It's not as pigmented as if I use my finger. Most definitely not. It's more of a subtle highlight. It's not as pow, Alchemist palette in your face. It's more of a subtle, glowy look. So it definitely doesn't have all the pigment with this specific brush, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I was expecting little to no shine because I'm a hopeless pessimist. Okay, so I have the same eye primer on as I usually do, which is just my foundation. I put my Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation on, so nothing crazy. I'm gonna start with the big fluffy brush, the one that's kind of pinched instead of the flat round one. And I'm going to go in with my Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe. This is my go-to palette. I am very familiar with how these eyeshadows work. I use them quite often. So I'm very familiar with their pigment and all of that jazz. So I'm just going to go in with this color right here. It looks a little light on camera, but it is darker than my skin tone. I'm going in. I have some on my brush. I didn't tap any off. And I'm just going to start applying that in my crease. And I will let you know if there's any fishy business. And I'm going to build this color up on both eyes and then come back. Alrighty, so I have only used this brush and I have only used that one color, and I have absolutely no complaints about this one so far. It applies just the same as my other brushes, and I see no huge flaws. Nothing is super streaky or patchy. Nothing looks out of the ordinary at all so far, so that's always good. I'm going to go in now with this shade, more of a warm, ruddy brown color, and I'm going in with the completely rounded brush, and I'm just going to pack that in my crease, kind of the same as I did with the other one. This is more of a brush test than a makeup tutorial. Again, I'm just dipping in. I'm not dusting it off at all, which I usually do with my Morphe ones, but that's because I'm trying to test how much pigment I can get off of this brush. So I'm doing the same thing, and I'm going in my crease with it. Alrighty, so I don't know if it's just me, or I don't know if it's the shade I use, or if I'm just being nitpicky, but I did have a little bit of trouble getting my second color, the more brownish color, to be pigmented like the first one. I have not seen many problems with it before in the past, and I don't know, again, if I'm just being nitpicky because I'm testing new brushes, but it was a little more difficult to get it to be as pigmented, and I don't know why that is. I'm going to use this one now, the big tapered one, and I'm going to take this red color right here, and I'm going to pack that on my lid with this. I know this is probably not the best brush to pack it on the lid with, but I'm going to try, and then I'm going to go in with the other one, the more, this guy, and then pack it more on the lid, because I think this one would be really good for packing shadow on the lid, because it is a bit more dense, not super dense, but a bit more dense than the other guys. Okay, so I did go back in with a different brush to go underneath my eye, because there's just no way these giant brushes are going to fit underneath my eye to do detail work, but I didn't expect them to, so that's not really a deal breaker or anything. But I did go in with a different brush, and then I did clean up the edges with some translucent powder and my other fluffy brush, just because I wasn't liking how the look was turning out. It has nothing to do with the brushes, it just has to do with me and me being a picky artist. This one, the one I used last, a lot of fallout. A lot of fallout when I used this. I know the red shade does usually have a little bit of fallout, but this was just like, hello, in your face. So I had to clean that up a little bit. And the fan brush worked fine to clean up the fallout. So I'm going to go and put on mascara, lashes, just mascara and lashes. That's all I have left. And come back with my final thoughts on these brushes. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, I am back. I have lashes and liner on, and I did go back under my eyes with a little bit more of the red and the smaller brush just because I felt it needed it. And I have a new lipstick on. It is Pacifica, what is this? Flawless. It's this guy right here. So yeah, I'll have all the makeup and stuff linked down below, along with Slaybella's Instagram and their website, so that you can pick up some brushes of your own if you would like. Okay, so I went to their website and I found the brushes. They are called Mermaid Frenzy. Alright, so they are $25 for 4 brushes. If you do the math, that is about $6 per brush. Which is not bad. It's not bad at all. It's more expensive than Morphe, and it's more expensive than Wet n Wild and like a lot of the drugstore brands, but it's not terrible. So the real question is, what do I think of them? I think they are pretty good low-end brushes. Do I think that I would pay $25 for these brushes if I was to buy them with my own money? No. I would, as a makeup artist, I would save up and I would get some Morphe brushes, or I would try to get some more expensive, higher end stuff, maybe some Anastasia. But if you are just looking for aesthetic purposes, if you are just playing around and feel like spending 25 bucks on some brushes, go right ahead. That is your own money. I'm not telling you what to do. But if you are trying to get into makeup and you are low on funds and you're just looking for how do I get by and use what I can, I would go for some more, I would go for Wet n Wild and Morphe and stuff like that instead of these. There's nothing wrong with the brushes. They are just as good as my Royal and Langnickel brushes that I have, which I use constantly. And they are just as good as my Eco Tools brushes, and I use those all the time as well. I think they're really pretty. I really, really like the teal and the rose gold and the purple tips. I think it's gorgeous brushes, and they don't feel super cheap. This is plastic, yes, but this doesn't feel like the cheapest metal that you can find at the dollar store, if you know what I mean. The fibers do feel a little cheap, but they're nothing that is unworkable. So yeah, I quite like these. I would not pay for them myself if I was to buy them, but they are not terrible brushes, and I am glad that I have them in my collection. So thank you so much to Slaybella for sending me these and letting me try them out for you guys. I appreciate it so much, being able to review some brushes, do a review on my channel with something that was sent to me for the first time, because I'm like a teeny tiny little YouTuber and a makeup artist in this giant sea of makeup YouTubers and social media people. So the fact that they were willing to reach out to some smaller creators says a lot. So if you want to check out their website or their Instagram, I'll have them linked down below along with all of my links. And I hope this video was helpful to you in some way, or at least entertaining, listening to me ramble on. But thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.